Every year as winter arrives, numerous fishing villages along Taiwan's coast begin to bustle with activity. Mullet roe season is now in action. Mullet roe is the egg sac from the female gray mullet. After a complex processing phase, it's transformed into a high-end food item that brings fishing villages substantial economic value. As Chinese New Year approaches, mullet roe is a delicacy that Taiwanese dinner tables cannot be without. Grilled mullet roe with green garlic and apple slices. It's a unique flavor that's widely popular. Amid the cold fronts of the winter solstice, mullets tend to gather in schools, following the ocean currents southward. They arrive in waters near the Taiwan Strait to avoid the cold and lay their eggs. Because mullets have traditionally stayed true to their word, appearing every year on schedule, they've earned the nickname oath-keeping fish. For coastal residents that rely on fishery, mullets are also known as black gold of the sea. Despite centuries of oath-keeping, however, the mullet has in recent years broken its oath. Climate change plus overfishing have caused a dramatic drop in catches, prompting a transition by some fishermen to mullet farming. They bring in seawater according to the tidal rhythms to maintain clean, clear ponds. It takes 3 years to produce mature mullets ready for roe extraction. Fishing during the frigid winter, the fishermen sometimes need a sip of alcohol to warm up their bodies. In 3 years, the mullets raised in fish ponds can grow to be 1.5 to 2 kilograms. When eggs mature in the winter, farmers rely on a wealth of experience to select females with sufficient weight, then to quickly send them to processing plants for roe extraction. After harvest in the pond, there's a group of professionals tasked with killing and roe extraction. These killers, as they're known locally, need to be very experienced because mullets do not come cheap. If an errant slice accidentally punctures the roe, it will incur losses. Mullet killers usually work in groups of 3 to 4. Everyone has a designated task. The first one in the processing line is the front cutter, mainly in charge of dissecting the fish. The second in the line is the back cutter, responsible for severing the roe. The third and fourth workers don't wield knives. Instead, they use their hands to scoop out the roe. Each group will process about 3,000 fish per day. Pay is calculated based on number of fish processed. Everyone has a daily average income of 2,000 to 3,000 NT dollars. Golden mullet roe is placed in tubs of fine snow-white salt, in which they are evenly coated. This enhances and locks in the roe's savory flavor while preserving its freshness. During the salting process, the amount used, as well as duration, must be measured precisely to ensure the roe's freshness, texture, and color are up to snuff. The egg membrane of the mullet roe is very thin and breaks easily. To avoid wastage, pig intestine membranes are used during processing for repairs. This purely manual step is the most time-consuming. It's like giving the mullet roe a makeover to keep sales on track. Next comes drying via sun and wind. Control of this process relies completely on natural conditions and the handler's experience. Because the process involves removal of water, oil, and salt crystals, the roe needs to be flipped over every 1 to 2 hours spanning a period of 5 to 6 days. This, coupled with the right amount of pressing and shaping, is necessary to refine the roe's delicious flavor. The culture of eating mullet roe has a long history in Taiwan. The rich flavor brims with the taste of time. From fishing to breeding, then to processing, each link requires the accumulation of experience. This includes human wisdom as well as nature's largesse.